Welcome back to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And we love talking about Pencil. We'll learn all about them and their efforts to power the good. We are joined by Sandra Harris, Grants and Content Manager, and Sara Aronson, who's the Senior Project Manager of MNPS Tutoring Programs, Metro Nashville Public Schools. How are you two lovely ladies doing?
Doing well, Jeremy. Thank you. How are you?
Doing well. I love talking about education and volunteerism and so much more. But let's start out when you talk about Pencil. Pencil is an acronym and a lot of amazing history for the organization as well. So Sandra, go ahead and start out. Tell us what the acronym means and give us a little bit of history for Pencil.
Absolutely. We are proud to be celebrating 40 years of service to Metro Nashville Public Schools. Yes, Pencil is an acronym. It stands for Public Education Needs, Community Involvement, and Leadership. We accomplish that work by creating partnerships between the business community and our schools. And those partnerships look like tailored relationship experiences. For instance, we partner or match the Loveless Cafe with Hillwood High School because the Hillwood High School has a culinary pathway. So that makes sense, right? So it's that kind of thing. We make sure that industry supports schools that have programming that aligns with their specific industry. At the end of the day, it's about workforce development and sustained impactful relationships from pre-K through grade 12. That means from tutoring to field trips to job shadows to supporting our work in our DG Pencil Box Teacher Resource Center. There's a lot that can be accomplished through Pencil in support of Metro schools.
When you look at engaging volunteers, teachers, the community at large, businesses, there's a lot of nuances, a lot of layers, a lot of outreach. And we'll talk a lot about in terms of engaging volunteers to work as tutors, but talk about kind of all those sides of engaging community, business, helping the teachers, equipping the schools. There's a lot of layers to what you do.
Right. So on the partnership side, we have dedicated staff, our partnership manager team, that connect with each quadrant of the district, Northwest, Northeast, Southwest, Southeast. And their work is about listening to the schools, hearing what those needs are, and then listening to the business community to see how they can support those particular needs. It could be something like at Overton High School, there is an HVAC pathway. So some of our larger HVAC companies, you know, the truck with a smile on the face, those organizations partner with Overton High School to speak into that particular industry. Students can go on ride-alongs. The staff of those organizations come into the schools and give guest speaking opportunities. So engagement can be virtual as well as in person, because when the world shut down, Pencil had to become creative and even more flexible to meet the schools where they are, businesses where they are, to implement those relationships virtually. So keeping everyone safe.
A lot of what you're talking about is relevance in the marketplace, relevance for the students, and obviously the community at large in terms of the growth, the leadership, the relationship building. Talk about how this plays a vital role in relevance.
So how the community at large can get involved is knowing that Pencil exists, first of all. It's about raising our profile, continuing to grow the brand, letting folks know that if they want to support Metro Nashville Public Schools, Pencil is the vehicle through which to do that. And you can sign up for volunteer opportunities on our website, pencilforschools.org. That's O-R, not the numeral 4. pencilforschools.org. You can check out our website, see all the many things that we have to offer, including volunteer experiences, as well as being able to support our DG Pencil Box school supply store, where Metro Nashville Public School teachers can come and shop for much needed classroom supplies at no cost to them. We're part of the Kids in Need Foundation network. So we have new supplies like pencils, pens, backpacks, notebooks, all those necessary supplies that teachers often have to come out of their pocket for, that we can help to mitigate some of that expense through our DG pencil box. And every Metro school teacher is eligible to shop there once per quarter. They can hit our website and find out how to do just that.
And I think that's, to me, going back, on the layers, like I said, there's a lot of layers to what you do, including obviously working directly with the teachers to give them all the resources they need directly. Sara, and let's switch over and talk about your world, because when you talk about engaging, as tutors and as community members, there's a lot of way, just like Sandra was saying. Give us a little bit of your vantage point, a little bit of your world.
Yeah, well, my world focuses on tutoring, and that means matching community members with a student in an MNPS school, a Metro Nashville Public School. And this program launched last year. It's called Accelerating Scholars. It's a partnership between Pencil and MNPS. And I think that's a really important thing to note, is that MNPS has demonstrated to us and clearly communicated that this is a need. And so it's not Pencil's job to come up with, well, what is the greatest need in the public schools? We like to listen to the stakeholders in public schools to actually hear, well, what do our students need? And so tutoring has come up as something that has been a strong need since the pandemic. And students are given the opportunity to be tutored in literacy in grades 1 through 3, and then in math for grades 8 and 9. And that rolled out last year. And when that rolled out, we tutored approximately 2,000 students, which is a big success in my opinion, because we went from tutoring 0 to 2,000 in the span of a year. And last year, the program was completely virtual. We have an online platform that tutors use. And the program's also unique because it's based on the model called high impact tutoring, which means that a tutor meets with their student 3 times a week for a half hour each time. So instead of often tutors meeting once a week over the duration of a semester in the past, we've really honed in on a research-based method that supports student learning and is very targeted to the skills that they are struggling with. So that is where high impact tutoring came from and how we've started it in the schools. This year, some exciting changes are coming in that we are planning on reaching even more students. Pencil is currently recruiting to serve 3,500 Metro Nashville Public School 1st through 3rd graders with literacy tutoring. And that will happen either virtually or, and I think this is exciting too, in person. So people have an opportunity to get back in those public schools, back in their neighborhood school that they may live close to. They may drive by every day on their way to work. And this is a concrete opportunity to directly support a student who needs just a little bit of extra help.
Talk about the training that goes in. You mentioned obviously there's in-person and virtual, so you're making it very, very easy, but talk about some of the training that volunteers can go through.
Yeah, so Pencil provides rigorous training to tutors. We do not expect you to have a background in education, and we provide several hours of tutoring that allow you to really gain skills in working with students one-on-one. You gain knowledge about using the platform that is used online. And you also are you're able to practice with the curriculum that you'll be using. The curriculum is fully developed by content experts at MNPS and has been carefully chosen to align with what students are already doing in the classroom, but not replicate that. And I think that's another advantage of how closely we work with MNPS, is that we are able to offer this program that complements but does not override student learning in the classroom to really have the most effective experience for those students. And tutors receive continuous training through the semester to be given additional support opportunities. There are also There's also something called office hours that we host throughout the semester. And those are live Zoom calls where tutors can drop in and bring up a question with content experts, with tech support. And it's really great because it's live and you can have your question answered right then instead of needing to wait for an email reply. Not that email's not a great way to get your questions answered, but sometimes you want to have a more personal touch. And so Pencil's able to provide those services.
Talk about time commitment. Very easy to manage when you look at what the expectation is. So talk about the expectation.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. So we ask for a commitment of about 12 weeks. And over those 12 weeks, you're committing to an hour and a half of tutoring per week. And that's broken up over 3 different days. And the great thing is that you get to go into our system and match with a student yourself. So that means that you can go in, you'll see the first name of a student and what grade they're in, and you'll see if they are participating virtually or in person, and you'll be able to see what time they're available for tutoring. So then you can choose based around your work schedule and your other commitments, what student would work for your schedule and to be able to provide tutoring to them. For training, the great thing is that is offered asynchronously. So again, you can break that up over the first couple of weeks before tutoring begins, and you can go at your own pace. Again, with extensive support from Pencil staff and MNPS staff. If you have any questions, we're always available to give additional support in that area. Before you get started, you do need to go through a really simple background check that's conducted online. That's a requirement from Metro Nashville Public Schools, just to make sure our students are kept safe. And so that is done at no cost to the volunteer. Pencil handles all of that. And you can find out more about that on our website at pencilforschools.org.
One more question. You mentioned launching this last year. What's been the feedback thus far and the impact?
Yes. So the impact, a big number impact, is that we've provided tutoring to over 2,000 students. And so that's a great start for a first-year program. And we can see through recordings of those experiences, you can see how much enjoyment students receive from those sessions. And, it's not just about the numbers. It's not just about providing support in reading or math. Those things are very important and foundational to a student's education. But also, what is foundational is a student believing that education is important, that learning is important, and that they can do it. And having somebody show up day after day, week after week for 12 weeks, it reinforces that idea that I'm worth it. I should put in this effort to this because this is important. What student doesn't need another caring adult in their corner to provide a little extra encouragement after these last few years of, upheaval?
Absolutely. Sandra, give me one more thing that you wish everyone knew about Pencil, and you can tie it in on the tutoring side or go a completely different direction. So it's up to you, but give me one more thing you wish everybody knew about Pencil.
I wish everyone knew that the Pencil Summit is coming up on October 7th and that Principal for a Day is coming up on October 27th. Both are excellent ways to interact with Pencil, get to know the MNPS community, as well as business and community partners who are supporting our youngest learners and our next generation of leaders. You can find out about both of those events. They are fantastic. I participate each year. Find out by going to our website, pencilforschools.org.
And talk about how those work. Give us a little bit of a deeper dive on those in terms of community able to come out, participate, and obviously you can find more information on the website, but give us a little bit more of a detail on those.
Absolutely. The Pencil Summit is a half-day conference. It's a morning of business and community partners and school leaders getting together to share their partnership experiences. That way, veteran partners get to share best practices. New partners get to get a snapshot into what their engagement is going to look like. And then at Principal for a Day, it is exactly as it sounds. You get a morning to spend with an MNPS principal. And I'm telling you, it is time well spent. I have done it myself several times. And the takeaway is that our principals are doing so much hard work in support of our youngest learners, principals, teachers, all of the staff, and you get to see them in action. And you walk away with that feeling that, yes, there is a lot to be done, a lot being done, but we're also just getting the tip of the iceberg. So it helps to add to your perspective that our public schools are doing good things and that the next generation of leaders are in good hands, and we can speak into that and impact our students.
Absolutely. Love it. You mentioned it throughout, but go ahead and mention it again. You never can say it enough. Is the website, social media, where do we go to plug in and learn more about Pencil?
Absolutely. The website is Pencil for Schools, FOR, schools.org. Our social is at Pencil, the numeral 4 schools. So hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, Insta, LinkedIn. Look for Pencil. You'll see that big blue pencil up there, and you'll know you're in the right place.
Awesome. Sandra, Sara, thank you for all you and your amazing team do. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.